Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiv Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 25, Lord Krishna lifts Govadan hill. Text number 18 onwards. Tasmanam charanam goshtham mannatam mat parigraham gopaya swatma yogena so ayam me vrat ahita. I must therefore protect the cowherd community by my transcendental potency, for I am their shelter, I am their master, and indeed, they are my own family. After all, I have taken a vow to protect my devotees. So as we studied yesterday, how Indra got upset because Nanda Baba stopped the sacrifice for him. Instead, they worshipped Govardhan, and Indra called Samartha clouds and fiery winds and his own Vajra. He came to drown and destroy the whole Braj. And all the Brajvasis, headed by Nanda Maharaj, they came to Krishna. Krishna, please protect us. And Krishna is thinking, yes, I must protect them. They're my devotees. The word Mat Charanam indicates not only that Lord Krishna was a sole shelter for the Brajapur, the people of Vrindavan, but also that Lord Krishna had established his home among them. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes from the Anekartha Varga Dictionary, Sharanam Grihe Rakshitro. The word Sharanam can represent either home or protector. The residents of Vrindavan adopted Krishna as a beloved child, friend, lover, and life itself. And the Lord reciprocated their feelings. Thus Shri Krishna lived among these fortunate people, moving in their houses and fields. Naturally, he would protect such intimate devotees from all types of danger. So, like he protected them from the forest fire, protected his friends again from second forest fire, he is going to protect his Brajvasis. Iti uktatvakena hastena kritva govardhanachalam dadhar lilya vishnusha chatrakam eva palaka. Having said this, Lord Krishna, whose Vishnu himself picked up Govardhan hill with one hand and held it aloft just as easily as a child holds up a mushroom. We have all been to Govardhan. We know how big it is. And 5,000 years ago, it was even bigger. Well, how easily Krishna, who was 7 years old only, he picked up as a child holds up a mushroom. How difficult it is for the child to hold up a mushroom. This is how easily he just lifted Govardhan. Like no big deal. It's confirmed in the Harivansha that Shri Krishna picked up the Govadan mountain with his left hand. Sadhrita Sangato Meghar Giri Savyena Panina. With his left hand, he picked up that mountain which was touching the clouds. So it was that big at that time, actually. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, when Lord Krishna was preparing to lift Govardhan hill, a partial expansion of his Yogmaya potency named Samharika temporarily removed all the rain from the sky, so that he ran very swiftly from the porch of his house to the mountain. Neither his turban nor other garments became wet. So many wonderful things happening when Krishna is there. I'll tell you some more details as we go along. So he just picked up the hill, and here it says on the left hand, but actually he picked up on the little finger, pinky finger of the left hand, on not even whole finger, the tip of that pinky finger. This was to crush the pride of Indra. That with my little pinky finger tip of the left hand, which is not considered very strong, I'm picking up the whole mountain. And he kept it like that for 7 days and 7 nights. Atha Bhagavan Gopan Heyam Tat Vrajokasa Yathopajosham Vishata Giri Gartam Sagodhana. The Lord then addressed the cowherd community. O mother, father, residents of Raj, if you wish, you may now come under this hill with your cows. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur provides the following insight in this regard. Ordinarily, a large cowherd community, which included many thousands of cows, calves, bulls, and so on, could not fit under the base of a medium-sized hill like Sri Govadan. Bringing all the Brajvasis with their cows, calves, bulls, everything. However, because the hill was in ecstasy, or Giraji was in ecstasy, he wanted to serve Krishna, being touched by the hand of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It acquired inconceivable power and even felt the hundreds of deadly thunderbolts thrown upon its back by angry Indra to be offering of soft, fragrant flowers. At times, Sri Govardhan was not even aware that the thunderbolts were striking. From the Harivansha, the Acharya is also quoted Sri Krishna himself as saying, Sri Govardhan can give shelter to all the 3 worlds, what to speak of the simple land of Braja. So actually, Giraji, he increased his size because he was in so much of ecstasy. He was touched and lifted by Krishna. So he increased his size so that all the Brajvasis, along with their cows, calves, bulls, everybody, they could fit under it. When Indra's attack began and Krishna lifted the hill, the deer, wild hogs, and other animals and birds standing on the hill's flanks climbed up to its peaks, and even they did not experience the slightest distress. Natras ehvah karyo madhastadre nipatanat vatvarshabhya abhyenalam tatranam vihitam hivaha. You should have no fear that this mountain will fall from my hand. And don't be afraid of the wind and the rain. For your deliverance from these afflictions has already been arranged. So what had happened? When Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill, Sudarshan Chakra wanted to serve him also. So Sudarshan Chakra went on top of the hill. And he was rotating at such a great speed that not a single drop of water fell on top of the hill. He was producing so much of heat that before even falling on Sudarshan Chakra, the water was evaporating. Everything was evaporating. Now, the water was not falling on top of the hill, but on the sides. The water was still falling, and as we studied, water was like columns of water was falling. That huge rain. So water could come from the sides inside the hill. Under the hill where the Brajvasis were there, Krishna was holding the hill. So what did Sheshnag do? He wanted to serve Krishna. So he came and he wrapped himself around the whole hill and made a kind of a dam, so water would not get in from the sides. Nobody saw it; it was invisible, but he came around. And then, water could not get in, but the winds, there were severe winds, they were blowing. So Krishna started playing his flute. So in his flute, he was capturing all the wind that Indra was sending. So how much he could send? There's not enough wind or rain with Indra that he could trouble Krishna. And it went on for 7 days, 7 nights. And it is said in other scriptures, Indra could not even destroy a single blade of grass of Braja. With all the efforts he did, he could not destroy anything, not even a single blade of grass. So then the question is, Okay, wind was being sucked by Krishna's flute, but where did the water go? Okay, Anantshesh came and he made a dam around Govadan hill on the ground, but water was still there. Where did it go? So it is said all the water went into the fields of Kansa, and it destroyed the crops and everything over there. Fields and gardens of Kansa. And then it went into Yamunaji. So not of Brajvasis. Indra could not destroy anything of Brajvasis. Tatha nirvi vishurgatam Krishna shwasit manasaha yathavakasham sadhana savraja upajivina. The minds are specified by Lord Krishna, they all entered beneath the hill where they found ample room for themselves and all their cows, wagons, servants, and priests, and for all of the members of the community as well. All the domestic animals of Vrindavan were brought beneath Govardhan hill for shelter. Kshutrid yatham sukhapeksham hitva Taravrajavasibhi Vikshimano Dadaradrim Saptaham Na Achal Padat. Lord Krishna, forgetting hunger and thirst and putting aside all considerations of personal pleasure, stood there holding up the hill for 7 days as the people of Raj gazed upon him. According to Vishnu Puran, Lord Krishna held up the mountain while his praises were chanted by the residents of Raj, all of whom now had the opportunity to dwell together with him, who glanced at him with joyful and amazed eyes. Thus the cowherd men and women were all elated, and out of loving affection, they opened their eyes wide. By continuously drinking the nectar of the beauty and sweetness of Shri Krishna, the residents of Vrindavan felt no hunger, thirst, or fatigue. And Lord Krishna, by seeing their beautiful forms, also forgot about eating, drinking, and sleeping. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out that 7 days of continuous rain from the Samarthak clouds failed to flood the district of Mathura because the Supreme Lord, simply by his potency, immediately dried up the water as it fell to the ground. Okay, here it says it fell to the ground, but some places it is said that it destroyed Kansa's gardens. Thus, Krishna's lifting of Govardhan hill is full of fascinating details and has for thousands of years remained one of the most famous pastimes. So all the Brajvasis, cows, calves, bulls, they did not feel any hunger, thirst, or fatigue. 7 days, 7 nights, they all were together looking at Krishna, and everybody felt Krishna was looking at me only. This is the power of Krishna. And everybody enjoyed it more because what used to happen in the daytime when Krishna is not at home, Yashoda Maya, Nanda Baba, and all the elderly gopis would be missing him, and he would be with his friends in the forest, and the gopis would be young gopis would be missing him, and at night he would go and spend time with Radharani and the other gopis. Then the cowherd boys would be missing him at night. Okay, we are not with him. So everybody wasn't getting a full chance to be with him all the time. But these 7 days, 7 nights, they all were together with Krishna under the hill. They all were together with him. So they just loved it. It was a terrible situation. Indra had to be taught a lesson, but at the same time, Krishna used this opportunity to be with all the Brajvasis completely, 24/7, like they say. He was with them. And everybody enjoyed it. Krishna yoga anubhavam tam nishamyendro ativis swana meghana sanyavaryat. When Indra observed this exhibition of Lord Krishna's mystic power, he became most astonished. Pulled down from his platform of false pride and his intentions thwarted, he ordered his clouds to desist. Kham vyabhram uditadityam vatavarsham cha darunam nishamya paratam gopan Govadan daro abravit. Seeing that the fierce wind and rain had now ceased, the sky had become clear of rain clouds, and the sun had risen. Lord Krishna, the lifter of Govadan Hill, spoke to the Cowherd community as follows. Niryat tyajat trasam gopasa strid narbhaka dhanarbhaka uparatam vata varsham vyud prayascha nimnagaha. Lord Krishna said, my dear cowherd men, please go out with your wives, children, and possessions. Give up your fear. The wind and rain have stopped, and the river's high waters have subsided. Tataste nir yurgopa swam swam adaya godhanam shakato dhop karanam stri balasthavirashane. After collecting their respective cows and loading the paraphernalia into the wagons, the cowherd men went out. The women, children, and elderly persons gradually followed them. Bhagwan api tam shailam swasthane purvat prabhu pashatam sarvabhutanam sthapyam masalileya. When all living creatures looked on, the Supreme Personality of Godhead put down the hill in its original place, just as it had stood before. So there was another thing there. When Krishna was lifting the Govardhan, when he held it for 7 days, 7 nights, all his sakhas, Gopas, they love Krishna. They want to help Krishna. They said, Krishna, you're lifting it with your left hand. It must be tiring. So they all put their sticks under Govardhan, and they were holding the sticks up. They were saying, okay, Krishna, we are going to help you with lifting Govardhan. So Krishna was laughing, but they have love for Krishna, so they were doing that. And when this time came, Krishna told everybody, okay, you all go out and I'll put the hill down. Then the cowherd boys, they love Krishna. They said, Krishna, you must be tired. Okay, now everybody's out, like elder gopas, gopis, all the girls are out, cows, calves, everybody's out. So you also leave and we'll hold it together. And once you leave, we'll also come out. Krishna said, no, you all go. No, Krishna, Kana, you go out. We are having it up. No problem. So Krishna said, okay, these guys are not listening. So what he did, he just tilted his finger a little and let Govardhan go down on one side. And all the gopas over there, their sticks broke when the Govadan hill went on one side. So then Krishna kept it straight. He said, see, I told you, you all go. They were like, okay, Kana, you hold it together, keep it up, and we are going out, but you come out very soon. Don't be late. So this is their mood with Krishna. Krishna was there for 7 days, holding Govardhan up. But did anybody think he is Supreme Personality of Godhead? No, nobody thought that. Tam prem vega nirbhrita vrajokasu yatha samiyu parirambhanadidhi gopyascha sasneham apujayan muda dadhyaksha tadbhir yuyuju sadashisha. All the residents of Vrindavan were overwhelmed with ecstatic love, and they came forward and greeted Shri Krishna according to their individual relationships with him. Some embracing him, others bowing down to him, and so forth. Cowherd women presented water mixed with yogurt and unbroken barley corns as a token of honor, and they showered auspicious benedictions upon him. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that each of the residents of Vrindavan regarded Krishna in his own way, as an inferior, younger member of the community, as an equal, or as a superior, and they all dealt with him accordingly. Krishna's superiors offered auspicious benedictions, lovingly smelled his head, kissed him, rubbed his arms and fingers, and inquired with parental affection as to whether he was tired or pained. Krishna's equals laughed or joked with him, and those who were younger fell at his feet, massaging his feet, and so on. Of course, he was a hero. The word cha in this verse indicates that the wives of the Brahmins joined with the cowherd ladies to offer auspicious items like yogurt and unbroken grains. Lord Krishna received benedictions such as this. May you subdue the wicked, protect the decent people, give pleasure to your parents, be enriched with all wealth and opulence. Yashoda Rohini Nando, Ramascha Balinam Vara, Krishna Malingya Yayujur, Ashisha Sneha Katara. Mother Yashoda, Mother Rohini, Nanda Maharaj, and Balram, the greatest of the strong, all embraced Krishna. Overwhelmed with affection, they offered him their blessings. Divi Devagana Siddha Sadhya Gandharva Charana, Tushtuvur Momuchus Tushta, Pushpa Varshani Parthiva. In the heavens of King, all the demigods, including the Siddhas, Sadhyas, Gandharvas, and Charans, sang the praises of Lord Krishna and showered down flowers in great satisfaction. The demigods in heaven were just as jubilant as the residents of Vrindavan, and thus a great universal festival took place. Shankha Dundu Bhayo Nedur, Divi Deva Prachoditaha, Jagur Gandharva Patyas, Tumburu Pramukha Nripa. My dear Parikshit, the demigods in heaven resoundingly played the conch shells and kettle drums, and best of the Gandharvas, led by Tumburu, began to sing. Tato Anurakta Pashupe Parashito, Rajan Swagoshtam Sabalo Abradhari, Tatha Vidhanyasya Kritani Gopika, Gayantya Iyur Mudita Hridisprashaha. Surrounded by his loving cowherd boyfriends and Lord Balram, Krishna then went off to the place where he had been tending his cows. The cowherd girls returned to their homes, singing joyfully about the lifting of Govadan hill and other glorious deeds performed by Lord Krishna, who had so deeply touched their hearts. Before returning to their homes, the gopis shared intimate association with their lover Shri Krishna by exchanging secret glances. Ordinarily, they could not publicly talk about Krishna since they were chaste young girls in a religious village. But now they took advantage of this wonderful exhibition by the Lord and freely sang of his beautiful qualities. It is natural that a young man wants to do something wonderful in the presence of a beautiful young girl. The gopis were the most beautiful and pure-hearted young girls, and Shri Krishna performed the most wonderful activities in their presence. Thus he entered deep within their tender hearts, enlivening their eternal devotion to him. So this lifting of Govardhan is two pastimes, lifting of Govardhan and the Damodar Leela. They are the most famous pastimes of Krishna in Braj. And wonderful, obviously, very, very wonderful pastimes. And this form of Krishna lifting Govardhan, it has become the worshipable form by the Pushti Margi sect. They are the Vaishnava Sampradaya, mostly from Gujarat area. So they worship this, Srinathji. Srinathji is the one that lifted the Govardhan. So Srinathji deity was established by Vajranath at Govardhan and founded by Madhavendra Puri. That we'll study the story later. But later when Mughals attacked, then Srinathji went to Nathdwar, Rajasthan. And that deity is still being worshipped there with lots of opulence. A very beautiful deity, very beautiful. It is said Nathdwar is the second richest temple. First is Tirupati, Balaji, and second is Nathdwar. Beautiful temple, opulent worship of Srinathji. And in Adwar, but all over the world, wherever the Shinaji temples are there, they worship him very nicely, very opulent, and very lovingly also, very loving. So whenever you get a chance to go to that Shinaji temple and you see he's holding his hand like that, and it just symbolizes this Krishna lifting Govadan hill. And also it is said by acharyas, in the Shinaji deity, there are a few details, and one detail is, they say Radharani is not there separately, but she is there because a braid is coming on the left side of Krishna, of Shinaji deity. So they say that represents Radharani. According to them, Krishna is a little baby in that form, so Radharani could not be with him. In the pastime, she is there, but they don't do that. So also they say, and many other acharyas say, there's Krishna lifted Govardhan with his left hand. And even in the deity of Radha Krishna in ISKCON temples, Radharani is on the left side of Krishna. So actually, it was by the power of Radharani that Govardhan was lifted, they say. And also sometimes it is said Govardhan was in so much of ecstasy that Krishna has touched me, that he himself floated on the hand of Krishna. Krishna did not have to exert power to lift him up. Govardhan itself floated above. And also when Krishna lifted Govardhan, underneath Govardhan, it wasn't like if we lift a big rock who's lying there for 10, 20 years from the ground, there would be all kinds of germs under it and bad things. No. When Krishna lifted Govardhan, underneath Govardhan, it was full, nice grass, gardens, lakes, everything was there under Govardhan. So Brajvasis did not feel any pain, any misery or any problem under Govardhan. And they all looked at Krishna, be with him for 7 days, 7 nights. Okay, so I'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Prabhuji, so Sri Krishna was Srinathji?
Yeah, he is Srinath. Yeah.
Okay. That's another name. Okay.
Yeah, Srinath. Shri means Radharani and Radharani means Nath.
Ah, okay. Shri means Radharani. Wow, didn't know
Yeah,
that.
original Shri is Radharani.
Achha.
In South India, they say Lakshmi Ji. Yes, but Lakshmi Ji is expansion of Radharani.
Ah, okay. Beautiful.
Okay, so I guess we can stop here. You all
Thank
have a
you,
safe and
Prabhuji.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Srila
Krishna.
Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.